Evan Saline, tell me a little bit about your project.
So I decided to find how salt affects the boiling point of water. I found out a lot about this project and that salt makes the boiling point and rise.
Okay, so why did you choose this type of project?
I found it on the internet and it sounded interesting. And I helped my dad help me, and he knows chemistry and stuff.
Oh, perfect.
And so it's interesting.
Okay, so while you were doing your project and doing your research, did you find out anything cool that you didn't know before?
Yes. I found out the salt makes the boiling point rise. So I thought it would need a lot more salt than just 1 tablespoon.
Okay, so that takes us into your hypothesis. Tell me what it was.
My hypothesis is if I add 4 tablespoons of salt to water, the boiling point will change.
Okay, so were you right?
No.
You were not right. Okay, so tell me now what your independent variables were.
My independent variable of my experiment was the amount of salt, and the dependent variable was the boiling point.
Okay, so Evan, we've been doing this project since October. So tell me, from start to finish, what was your favorite part of this project?
Probably like doing the experiment and seeing, like, you see in this picture how the salt forms around, and you see on the stove the salt went like everywhere.
Okay, all right. Let me zoom back out. Evan Saline, thank you. Callie Cochran, tell me a little bit about your project.
I did what diaper soaks the most. So I poured in water into the diaper, and I just saw how much water it absorbed, or
Okay.
how much it leaked.
Oh, how much it leaked. Excellent. Okay, so you, where'd you get the idea to do this?
I researched online ideas, and then my aunt thought this would be a good idea. I saw it online with paper towels, and my aunt had diapers, so I just decided to do that.
Does your aunt have a child that's in diapers?
Yeah, she has 2. One doesn't wear diapers anymore, but then the one does.
Okay, so that's interesting. I like that. So as you were doing research and you were working on this project, did you find out anything that you didn't know before?
I found out that Pampers has absorbent panels on the sides of the diapers that are supposed to absorb all the liquid.
Okay, so you just mentioned Pampers. Now, what did you think was going to happen? What was your hypothesis?
My hypothesis was if I used multiple brands of diapers, I thought Pampers would hold the most liquid.
You thought Pampers would. Now, what actually happened?
Love's held the most liquid, and Huggies actually leaked the most amount of water, and then Pampers held the second amount.
Okay, so tell me what your dependent variable was. And we know your independent variable is you use different types of diapers. So how are you measuring?
I measured the amount of water that leaked in milliliters.
Okay, excellent. So the last question, Callie, we've been doing this since October. What was your favorite part of this whole process?
Just pouring in the liquid and then seeing the water sit there, and then over 5 minutes how much it absorbed.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Callie Cochran. Alex Jaworski, tell me a little bit about your project.
So I grew some chia sprouts in plastic cups, and I put them, one not in a microwave, one in a microwave, to see if the radiation would affect the plant growth.
Okay, and while you were doing your work and while you were doing your research, did you find out anything interesting that you didn't know before?
I learned that it takes 2 seconds for a microwave to heat up, so I had to add a bit extra time. I couldn't just put it in for 2 seconds, so that wouldn't have done any, I guess you could say, growth change.
Okay, and where did you get the idea to do this?
Online, I was looking at ideas with microwaves because I wondered why, soup, why you have to stir soup up, and why part of the soup is cold, but when you stir it up and it could get warm, so I wanted to see if it would do any effect to plants.
I love that. So tell me what your hypothesis was.
If you expose a plant to radiation, then will it affect the plant growth in a negative or positive way?
Okay, and what did you come up with? What happened?
The radiation, the plant died after 15 days, and around day 8, the plant started going downhill.
That is so interesting. So how were you measuring this then?
I did it with a ruler and centimeter, so I measured both plants in both days.
Okay, so your independent variable was?
Plant growth.
Yeah, you're different.
Or my radiation, exposing it to radiation.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure if I asked you that. Okay, so now you've been doing this since October. So what was your favorite part of this whole process?
Probably looking to see if there's a change every day. honestly just like going downstairs, seeing if it grew. Like on day 4, I was getting nervous because I didn't have any sprouts, but then day 4 it grew a lot overnight.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex Jaworski. Okay, Molly Monroe, tell me about your project.
I did baking cookies with different types of flour to see which one would rise the highest. I made cookies with almond flour, all-purpose flour, and whole wheat flour. And then I got my results, and it was a fun experiment.
Excellent. Okay, so you had to do some research. Did you learn anything from this? Anything you didn't know before?
That the almond flour like melted the dough to make it into more of a batter, and that the whole wheat flour made it like more solid, like it was harder to mix.
Great. And why did you decide to do this as your project?
I like baking, so I thought it would be a good fit for me.
That's great when people choose something that they like to do. So tell me now, what was your hypothesis? What did you think was going to happen?
I think that the all-purpose flour would make the cookies rise the highest.
Okay, and what actually happened?
They didn't. The whole wheat flour made them rise the highest.
Okay, so what was your independent variable?
The different types of flours.
Okay, and then how were you measuring those?
I measured the height and the width of the cookies.
Okay, so Molly, we've been doing this since October. Tell me, throughout this whole experience, what was your favorite part of this?
Probably just seeing the difference in the batters.
So actually performing your experiment. Yeah. Excellent. All right, well, thank you, Molly Monroe. Paige Pavasevic, tell me about your project.
My project is, does a wireless charger charges faster than a cord charger? And during my experiment, the cord charger wouldn't really connect to the phone that well because it was damaged, so I had to switch the cords out. And then the wireless charger, I had to take the phone case off or else it wouldn't connect properly.
Interesting. So why did you do this project? What made you interested in this?
It interested me because a lot of people now are choosing a wireless charger because it's more high tech.
Okay, and what did you find out while you were researching this? Anything you never knew before?
I found out that a wireless charger isn't that good and it does take longer.
I bet you a lot of people would like to know that. So tell me your hypothesis.
My hypothesis is if a wireless charger charges faster than a cord charger, will charge slower.
Okay, so you thought it was slower, and you ended up finding out that what?
That a cord charger was faster.
Okay, and your independent variable?
The type of phone I used. The type of charger I used.
Type of charger, and then you were looking for, how were you measuring that?
I measured it in time, so I used a stopwatch.
Okay, and we've been doing this since October. What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was finding out which one is actually better for the phone.
All right, well, thank you, Paige Pavasevic. Lucy DiCello, tell me about your project.
My project was does the price and the brand of nail polish depend on the quality? And what I did, I picked out 5 nail polishes, then I washed my hands. After I washed my hands, I put like the base coat on my nail, and then I put on the nail polish. After I put on the nail polish, I waited 10 minutes for my nails to dry. Then I tried stuff to make to see if it chipped, and then after 3 days, I would take off the nail polish and start over.
That's excellent. I actually didn't know that you were trying to see if it would chip. That's really good information. So why did you decide to do this project?
My dad recommended it to me.
Okay, do you like nail polish?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So as you were doing your research, did you find out anything interesting or something you didn't know?
You don't have to buy a more expensive one, but I wouldn't recommend the cheapest one.
Okay, and what was your favorite brand?
Essie.
Essie. Okay, so next, what is your hypothesis?
My hypothesis is I think the more expensive nail polishes will not chip, and the cheaper nail polish will chip a lot.
And were you right?
No.
No. What did you find?
I found out it doesn't matter on the price of the nail polish.
Okay, so your independent variable was?
My independent variable was the chip to the nail, how much times the nails chipped.
Okay, and then you also had multiple different types of nail polish, correct? Good. All right, now our last question, Lucy. We've been doing this since October, and I want you to tell me, throughout the whole science fair project, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was doing the science fair part, like the project.
Doing your experiment at home. Good, and that seems to be the popular answer. Thank you, Lucy DiCello.